It goes back to the scriptures and back to the founders, back to what we pledged on our first day at school. Back to a dream of Martin Luther King, back to what we mean by the golden rule. It's a beautiful dream that says everyone's equal, with rights to life, liberty, happiness too. It's a dream full of hope for a more perfect union. It's still not too late for that dream to come true. With faith we can fly on the wings of a dream. We still may become all we hoped we could be. It will take everyone, and we'll have to believe that we can fly on the wings of a dream. Welcome to Songs and Stories from Home, as we continue on the wings of a dream. This week with liberty. What do we mean when we end the Pledge of Allegiance with the words, "with liberty and justice for all"? When it comes to liberty, we are a country steeped in myths of hearty individualism and personal freedom, ideas we often express loudly and boldly. We unfurl and wave "Don't tread on me" flags, and we are the land of 400 million firearms in civilian hands, nearly half of the world's total. We proclaim, protest, and protect the right to stand our ground. And yet, despite how tightly we hold on to individualism, we also pledge allegiance to one nation, under God, indivisible. In other words, if we are to be true to our pledge, like it or not, we're all in this together. Free to do our own thing, sure, but also free to be part of something bigger than ourselves. After much consideration about what liberty in the Pledge of Allegiance might mean, I chose President Franklin Roosevelt's 4 freedoms as a model, ideas he shared in his State of the Union address in January of 1941. Roosevelt said that everyone should know what it means to have freedom of speech, freedom of worship, freedom from want, and freedom from fear. Inspired certainly by the First Amendment to the Constitution, which says Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. The First Amendment, inspired by the Magna Carta, the first written constitution in European history, dating back more than 800 years. Our human search for meaning, for wanting to know what belongs to us, what we owe to others, it goes way back. In the middle of the 20th century, there was an artist in America who brought to life often idealized images of what it was to be American. His name was Norman Rockwell. In the spring of 1942, after America had entered the war, he decided he would illustrate Roosevelt's 4 freedoms in hopes of raising money to help pay for the war effort. It's said he found the task so daunting it was months before he picked up his paintbrushes. And when he finally finished, he said it was a project that should have been tackled by Michelangelo. As it turned out, Rockwell's images toured the country and were seen by more than 1 million Americans. The paintings became part of the most successful campaign ever to raise money for the war effort. 4 million sets of posters of the paintings were distributed to schools and other institutions throughout the country. And in the process, they became a perfect visual complement to Roosevelt's aspiring and inspiring words. The 4 freedoms are imprinted now on the American psyche. And what they look like and what America looks like continues to be reimagined. The 4 freedoms. Freedom of speech, to have our voices heard and to listen to others' voices. To combine our voices and to peaceably assemble, to have our voices heard in the halls of government. Freedom of worship. We are a nation of immigrants where church and state are considered to be separate and separated, and each of us is free to choose how or if we worship. In 1961, Justice William O. Douglas wrote that besides having freedom of religion, we are, if we choose, granted the freedom from religion. Freedom from want. More and more, instead of acting like one nation, indivisible, we act like a nation of individuals who believe that personal liberty does not come with responsibility to something greater than ourselves. In order to truly be a nation free from want, we need to continue to look for ways to assure that opportunities are available to all so that no one is left behind or left wanting. Freedom from fear. In 1933, in the midst of the Great Depression, Franklin Roosevelt, in his first speech as president, said the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And then he set out to do anything and everything he could think of to make things better, knowing that while all of us live with fear, we should not have to live in fear. Too often politicians reinforce our fears. We act differently when we are afraid. How much better our world and this country is when we are motivated by love and not fear. I had a dream the other night that our country somehow made things right. Oh, I was surprised at what it all looked like, what had been there all along. We look like one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. With faith we can fly on the wings of a dream. We still can become all we hoped we could be. It will take everyone, and we'll have to believe that we can fly on the wings of a dream.